It's a basic fundamental infrastructure important for social outcomes and economic. And so I think you have to look at the structure. What has worked well? What do we need to preserve?
You've got tensions, but you've also got opportunities. You've got large companies, but at the same time, you've got startups. You've got users who all of a sudden have got many more opportunities to share, but at the same time, they might divulge their personal data.
Our mission is to keep the internet open, innovative, and free.
Let's take a look at what is happening at the boundaries of the internet, of this world we call the internet, and let's see what we think might be possible next. Nobody knows the right answer. Let's try to see what we know together. Let's try to see what we understand together.
There are contradictions in the internet, and the internet has in itself been the cause of some of the changes in balance of power between consumers and companies, between governments and citizens.
Social value system is changing through the use of internet. In particular, the distinction between private sphere and public sphere is not only the generation gap, but changing social system.
And right now we have to find the question of what is the ideal for our internet society.
Would be to provide the language to actually analyze these ecosystems.
One theme that we discussed was the shifting of power from governments to gatekeepers or platforms like, Amazon and Apple and Google and Facebook and Twitter.
Of course, the owners or the business people, they can overuse those kind of personal information beyond actually our kind of consent.
Initially give up these rights individually and then try and reclaim them collectively. That is a process that we expected would emerge.
Now, the question was whether more regulation will protect your rights better. And that, there was no consensus that was the case.
And we should not be afraid to regulate if it's not restricting the freedom of the internet.
User control, transparency, choice, that was going to make us better, protected than top-down regulation.
And then the question is, who is the government or who is the institution that is regulating that network?
So we are right now in a situation where we suddenly have cross-border online spaces that span across multiple jurisdictions, and they emerged within only 20 years. But at the same time, our international governance systems, our jurisdiction systems, did not evolve in parallel.
We all know that the worldwide economy is connected, and if you put boundaries between the different countries, you will kill jobs, you will kill value.
Jobs. Many jobs will break down. If you're a taxi driver in Paris at the moment, stop fighting with the government over a new competitor, because pretty soon those cars will drive themselves.
Internet is challenging traditional authority figures. The wide access to information and more transparency is questioning also current business models. Education will be challenged because the kind of skills that are needed to access to a new labor market, that is also challenging.
So in a market where there's significant asymmetry between the amount of information one has, the internet is an incredibly powerful force in correcting that. The group knowledge that the internet facilitates is a very strong mobilizing force for those who normally would be less empowered.
do I worry about? I worry about messing up maybe the greatest invention of our generation.